Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to this session on Gradeup, and this session is about what should we read for CAT 21, because CAT 21 very clearly is not really that far away. It's not over there down the road over that hill. It's very close by. If you are watching this video now, it very clearly means somewhere you are concerned about your CAT 2021. Now, if that is the case, then today's session is about what should you consistently read for the coming days so that you become better and better and better. Now, very clearly, I would avoid giving you a list of things to do. I would rather give you guidelines. Okay. Saurabh and Anubhav, I can see them. Yep. Hi, guys. Good evening. Welcome. Good to see you. So I'm sure you are obviously looking at CAT and you're wondering, kya karna chahiye? What should I read? Should I read something? You might have started taking mocks and you might have started facing the usual problem that students face. VARC improve nahi ho raha. Kya kare? Reading speed is low. A lot of issues. Now, very clearly, it's impossible to answer all those queries in one go in a short 15 minutes video. But very clearly, I would try to answer a lot of queries that you guys have at this juncture. So watch the video till the very end, okay, and subscribe to Gradeup so that you get notifications for the future topics, future discussion points, and you can also download the app so that you can get notifications for the sessions that we conduct primarily for the app, क्योंकि हमारे sessions वहाँ पे भी होते हैं सिर्फ, okay. Now, if you have watched my previous videos, you already know me. My name is Krishnendu Datta. Okay, you can follow me on the app also. So make sure Gradeup Super app is downloaded. Gradeup Super का app तो आपका होना ही चाहिए. Correct? So moving on. Before I move on, let me tell you quickly a few things about us which are going to be very useful for you. We at Gradeup offer you a subscription, something called Gradeup Super. Okay, if you're new to our channel, if you're new to our sessions, let me tell you that it is like Amazon or Netflix. So what happens is you download the app, you buy the subscription, and it is available by months also. For example, you don't need it for a year, you can buy let's say for 6 months. But if you're targeting CAT 2021, then you need to have the services till at least March 2022, which means you need to buy it for 12 months. Now, once you have the Gradeup Super, what happens is you have access to all the entrance test prep. It's not only one. So if you buy it once, you get access for CAT prep and CAT and IFT and XAT and SNAP and TISNET and MHCET, CMAT and MAT. You will not leave any exams as such in terms of preparation. Sare preparations will be taken care of. You don't have to purchase courses separately. You get mocks, you get more than 200 plus video classes, you get mocks, you get performance analysis, you get PDF study material also. So you get loads and loads of it, truckloads actually. So if you have not become a student yet, make sure you become. Abhi aap mauka mat chhodna, okay? Now, why Gradeup? If you ask me, the first and foremost, because Gradeup faculty members themselves crack the exam that they teach you. That's the motto we have. So if you look at the bunch of faculty members who are going to teach you, who are going to prep you for the preparation for the CAT, we have all cracked the exam multiple times with highest possible percentiles. Correct? Which means we teach from experience, not from bookish knowledge. Kitabi gyan nahi. Practical tips, because we know what works, what does not work. Simple, as simple as that. Correct? So if you look at our faculty members, they all have proven track record. They know what they're teaching because they've cracked. Correct? So make sure you join us because we provide the best faculty members, best course content, and very clearly the best guidance possible, because sahi prep hai to life set hai is what we believe in. Right? Now, if you find our content useful, do subscribe and press the bell icon for notifications, and very importantly, you can watch the previous videos also agar abhi tak nahi kiya hai to. Okay, because in today's session I am going to talk about few things which you can go back and cross check in other videos. So it's going to be a kind of interdisciplinary approach kind of thing. Okay. Good evening, Abhinav. Good to see you. Palak, good evening. I hope you guys have the app also, है ना? App भी होना जरूरी है सबके पास. तो चलो डिस्कस करते हैं थोड़ी चीजें. गौरी, अंजनी, good evening. Anjani, that's very hard to say. Who is the best writer as such? It's a very relative question, है ना? So let me quickly tell you a few things. One question that I have started getting from students is, what should I read for CAT 2021? CAT 21 के लिए क्या पढ़ूं? Now I tend to say everything, and I think students become very dukhi. They stop responding. दुखी हो जाते हैं बेचारे, ऐसे इमोजीज भेजते हैं दुख वाले. Everything. Now very clearly, technically my answer is correct actually, but naturally you can't read everything. But if I ask you, what did CAT ask you in 2020? What kind of passages came? If you look at the width of passages in terms of topics, they practically covered everything. There were topics from economics, topics from polity, from philosophy, from psychology, from feminism and geography and whatnot. There were topics on seals. There were topics. There were RCs on feminism, on book review. So what should you read? You should be a widely read person. As simple as that. Widely read. Remember, in CAT, the preparation should be T-shaped, where T has a huge hat. In terms of reading, your reading habit should be like this. Okay, understand what I mean by this? You should be a person who reads multiple types. You should have read multiple types of material rather than creating depth. They are not looking for experts, no? They are not looking for people who have read 200 books on history. They are looking for a person who has read 50 books on 50 different topics rather than 50 books on one topic. You should not be a specialist. Specialists know more and more about less and less. You should be a jack of all trades and a master of a couple of them. You get my point? So what should I read? You should read everything. You should read a lot of it. So your morning should start with reading. Your night should come with reading. Morning, newspaper. Then probably some Google articles. Then probably a book. Entire day whenever you have free time. Then you read some blogs. You read some articles. Whenever you have free time, you read. That's as simple as that. Nothing very, very rocket sciencey kind of thing here. Now, very clearly, I have more questions, obviously. Now, the second question that I face a lot is that what do they look for in the VARC section? Chahte kya hai wo humse? What do they want to test? Okay. So, very simple, guys. Three things. That's it. Their expectation from you is not that they want to make you a scientist at NASA or ISRO, right? Their expectations are very simple. A, can you read at a reasonable speed? Because they have to teach you for 2 years. MBA college में 2 साल पढ़ाना भी है ना. तो पढ़ के भाई कोर्स कर लोगे नहीं कर लोगे. That's all they want to check. Second is tomorrow as future business leaders, you should have good reading ability. तो ठीक ठाक से स्पीड से पढ़ लेते हो 2 to 300 words per minute. Consistent reading habit. That's it. Second, they want to check, do you have good comprehension or not? पढ़ते हो तो समझ भी आता है. When you read something, do you understand, or you just do simple gullibazi that, okay, I have read all this and you understand nothing? Because I have seen even very well-read people with degrees from the top B schools, when they read a mail, if the mail says Peter is going to Patna, they understand that Ram is going to probably London. They have no freaking clue what they're reading and what they're comprehending. वो समझ ही नहीं आता. And forget comprehension. That is the third thing that they want to check is, can you interpret? Data interpretation, reading comprehension questions are actually interpretation based. आपको मैंने X लिख के दिया है तो क्या आप उस X से Y भी निकाल सकते हो? When I ask you what is the conclusion, what is the inference, what are the assumptions, I'm looking at your interpretation power, not only simple comprehension power. That is why comprehension is the first stage, second stage is interpretation. तभी बच्चे पहले comprehend करना सीखते हैं, फिर इंटरप्रेट करना सीखते हैं. Very young kids cannot really interpret. We old people can do that. तो आप एक बच्चे को टॉफी दोगे ना तो वो टॉफी को लेके खा लेगा. उसके लिए कॉम्प्रिहेंशन बड़ा सिंपल है, टॉफी मिली है खा लो. बट अगर आप एडल्ट को देते हो ना तो वो सोचता है टॉफी दिया क्या मतलब इसका. For example, in B schools like IMA, they tend to offer toffees after interviews, and students have weird interpretations of that. They are like एक टॉफी लो तो they will think you are not ambitious. 4 लोगे तो ambitious है, 6 लोगे तो entrepreneur बनना चाहता है, 8 लोगे तो ये तो politician बनना चाहता है, लालची है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. They just offer you as a courtesy, probably. So interpretation is the next stage. All they want to check is, can you read? Do you understand what you read? And more importantly, if there is something to be interpreted out of it, can you do that? That's it. Most of the students do not have any of the three. They can't read at a good speed. They can't comprehend what they read. Forget about the interpretation. Always remember, this is the basic skill. This requires a bit of extra advanced skills, and this one is very clearly skill-based, practice-based. This one requires critical reasoning skills. That is why you should study critical reasoning. This one requires basic reading and comprehension skills, and this one requires a lot of reading. तो आप रीडिंग करोगे तो आपकी स्पीड अच्छी होगी, आप रीडिंग करोगे तो आपकी कॉम्प्रिहेंशन भी अच्छी होगी, बट इंटरप्रिटेशन तब अच्छा होगा when you work on your CR. So please guys, make sure you work on your CR concepts. Okay. So Saurabh, I'll come to that question later if possible. See that? है ना, क्योंकि वो थोड़ा सा different question है. So let's move on. तो ये 3 चीजें हमें करनी है so that we can become good in VARC. Majority of the students barely reach till 2. यहाँ तक आके 80% बच्चों की गाड़ी अटक जाती है. That is why in 2020 CAT, if you got about 42 marks, you got a 99 percentile out of 78. Why? Because 99% बच्चे नहीं कर पाए, 42 भी नहीं ला पाए. Why? Because 90% बच्चे तो रीडिंग स्पीड छोड़ो और बहुत हो गया तो कॉम्प्रिहेंशन एकदम अटक जाता है. They cannot go beyond this. Forget about interpretation. उससे होता ही नहीं interpretation. Right? Half the students who prepare for CAT do not know the difference between what's a conclusion, what's an assumption, what is an inference, what does the author mean when the question says the author will least agree with, most agree with, which of the following will strengthen or negate, which of the following is a parallel logic question. कुछ पता ही नहीं होता, कुछ किया ही नहीं होता है. You have to work on all this. Now, because the session today is very obviously very short, we are not keeping it very long. Let me be very quick. First is, if you still do not have the habit of starting your day with newspaper, unless it's an exceptional case, please start. And I get this question very repeatedly, which page to read? मेरे पेपर में 20 pages होते हैं, मैं कौन सा पढ़ूं? My newspaper has 40 pages. अरे तो एडवर्टाइजमेंट नहीं पढ़ना है ना, क्यों टाइम वेस्ट करना है? You should have 3 pages which are must mandatory. 1 page is voluntary. Okay, so I'll tell you. First is, of course, front page. Now, if you read Times of India, for example, it has 2-3 front pages. Okay, half pages twice, and then, but okay, that's all front page. Second is obviously international, because front page usually covers the national news also. So you go to international page, check what is happening there. Then of course you go to editorial. And fourth is your choice. I generally read the business news. Some people want to read sports also. I would say read both if you have to, but of course you have to pay attention to the business news also. Now here also, avoid reading short-term news, read long-term value news. For example, accidents or an incident of dacoity is short-term news. It doesn't really add value, so you can avoid. You can study it for the vocab sake, for example. But long-term news padho. What is happening in the Middle East? What is happening in US? What is happening in Russia? What's happening with China? International affairs, things like that. Long-term news. Don't read snatchers snatched a chain from a lady. You don't have to spend time there. Even in business, don't read this company made XYZ profit. That's very short term. कल को नुकसान भी हो सकता है. But if it's about business strategy, if it's about long-term strategy that India is thinking in terms of China, or how to do business with the US, or it's talking about Quad countries, then you should read that. Editorial, very clearly read editorial because that's the opinion of the editors, and you can read articles also from the editorials. करेक्ट. तो ये तो मिनिमम काम है जो आपको करना पड़ेगा, है कि नहीं. नाउ लेट्स सी. अनुभव का क्वेश्चन बड़े ही खतरनाक और थोड़ा सा अजीब टाइप का क्वेश्चन है. अनुभव, व्हाट डू यू थिंक आई विल टेल यू? ऑलराइट, आदित्य का देखते हैं. व्हाट इज आदित्य सेइंग? Aditya, you are confusing reading books with reading novels. Novels are fiction, okay? Whereas books are non-fiction also, okay? So, Anubhav, I have taken sessions on that also earlier, okay? How to build stamina. You can watch the other videos, but let me put it very, very clinically here. If you want to build stamina, give yourself increasingly harder targets every day. So suppose you can manage half an hour of reading, do it for 35 minutes for next 7 days, and then do it for 45 minutes for next 7 days. That's how you do it. It's just like going to gym. If you pull, let's say, if you can do bench press with 40 kilos, and if you just do 40 kilos every single day for the rest of your life, तो कोई फायदा नहीं होगा. Increase it slightly. Do it for a week, then increase it slightly. Same thing. So 3 newspapers we strongly recommend. Now this one is of course online, so you may have to buy the subscription, because I have seen if you access them repeatedly they tend to ask for subscription, but I think you guys are smart enough, कुछ ना कुछ रास्ता निकाल ही लोगे, है ना, इनको read करने का. But Hindu and Indian Express definitely. Times of India editorials are good enough, you can read them also, but we strongly recommend these 3 newspapers. Okay, तो ये आप पढ़ना शुरू कर दो. 4 pages at least. Avoid unnecessary short term news जहां तक हो सकता है. Now students ask me, should I read newspaper? Is very big, इतना बड़ा होता है. Now one thing that you have to understand is somehow we are becoming very, very effort averse. We are becoming people who do not want to put the efforts, but हमें result चाहिए. हमें जाना तो IMA ही है, but shortcut में बता दो. Unfortunately, you have to die before you go to heaven, right? So dying is part of it. Shortcuts, डॉक्टर ने तो बोला नहीं है कि if you don't go to an IM तो कुछ हो जाएगा, है ना? You can still survive. So don't worry about it. Just forget it. Efforts डालने पड़ेंगे. Now, can I read InShorts? You can keep yourself updated through apps like InShort. But if you tell me you would read news from this, not a great idea. Even though you can access the whole news through this, but these guys, remember, push news. They don't allow you to choose news. That happens on when you are reading on internet or you're reading a newspaper. आपके सामने पेज में 5 आर्टिकल्स है, you decide what to read, so you would scan also. In shorts तो push है ना, push होता है उसके अंदर, खुद से आता है. इसमें क्या सीखने को मिलेगा? You will not scan. So should you read? Yeah. Should you read only this? No. Don't do that. This will not help. But to keep yourself updated, yes, you can do that. Correct? Now, students ask, online में और क्या पढ़ सकते हैं? Now, if you're a new reader, very clearly I cannot overburden you. मैं बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं बताऊंगा कि 50 चीजें कर लो. Doesn't help. Only few things you can start with. Okay? Aditya, read if possible offline because you get to choose. But slowly and steadily you can read online also if you are habituated. Okay? Sahil, that is the whole idea. Okay? आप टफ है करके छोड़ देते हो और इसी वजह से इंप्रूवमेंट नहीं आ रही है. You have to push. You have to understand one thing, guys. If you are targeting the toughest management entrance in the world, toughest management entrance test in the world, you have to be one of the toughest students in the world. You cannot be a whiny kid जिसको हर चीज में प्रॉब्लम होती है, हर बात पे गिव अप कर देता है, and you want to crack the toughest paper. नहीं होगा. That's not the way. You have to buckle up. You have to ask yourself, am I a wimpy kid or am I a champ? You have got to be a champ. मुझसे ये नहीं हो रहा, मुझसे वो नहीं हो रही, यू आर वाइनिंग, यू आर अ विम्पी किड. ऐसे कोई एग्जाम क्रैक नहीं होता, लाइफ में कुछ नहीं होता. इमेजिन यू आर ट्राइंग टू क्लाइंब माउंट एवरेस्ट एंड यू आर लाइक ठंड बहुत है वहां पे. मैं जब चढ़ता हूं तो बहुत ठंड लगती है, क्या करूं? दो ऑप्शंस हैं, या तो ड्रीम छोड़ दो या ठंड बर्दाश्त करो. 5 पेज पढ़ के थक जाता हूं, क्या करूं? 10 पेज पढ़ो अगले 7 दिनों तक. पुश योर सेल्फ. Your mind will be in your control if you can take pain, remember. Just imagine guys, for a while इंडियन आर्मी की ट्रेनिंग हो रही है और इंडियन आर्मी के सोल्जर्स को वहां के इंस्ट्रक्टर्स ट्रेन कर रहे हैं ये कह के कि अच्छा सुबह उठने में तकलीफ होती है, कोई बात नहीं, स्लीप टिल 10 o'clock, जब नींद खुले पीटी ग्राउंड आ जाना, परेड करेंगे. और आधा घंटा थक गए ट्रेनिंग करके, नो प्रॉब्लम, टेक रेस्ट, नेटफ्लिक्स से मूवी देखो, ट्रेनिंग तो होती रहेगी. You think we will have those brave soldiers guarding us at -40 degree temperature in Leh and Ladakh and in the jungles of Kashmir? टफ कैसे बनते हैं? पुश करना पड़ता है अपने आप को. You should ask me कि सर मैं 2 न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ लेता हूँ, 3 कैसे पढ़ूं? You are asking me मैं 3 पेज नहीं पढ़ पाता हूं, अब मैं क्या करूं? You are wimpy. Gear up. हिम्मत की जरूरत है. पुश योर सेल्फ गाइज, पुश योर सेल्फ, बिकॉज सम पीपल विल डू इट. आपका मुकाबला उनसे है. यू अंडरस्टैंड? देयरफॉर होम स्क्रीन पे इयॉन एसेस होम स्क्रीन पे होना चाहिए. रोज एक इयॉन एसे पढ़ना है, उसके बिना पढ़े तो सोना नहीं है रात में. रीड एनीथिंग दैट कैचेस योर फैंसी. इसे बहुत अच्छे आर्टिकल्स आते हैं. इट अगेन कैन आस्क फॉर सब्सक्रिप्शन बिकॉज nowadays obviously good content सब्सक्रिप्शन बेस्ड हो गया है, बट देख लेना, वेरी गुड आर्टिकल्स. एंड इससे कैट में बहुत बार आते हैं एसेस. एवरी ईयर कैट विल आस्क एटलीस्ट 1 or 2 एसेस फ्रॉम इयॉन इनवेरिएबली. आप सर्च करके देख लो. So they give you articles on anthropology, they can give you give articles on history of slaves, it can give you histories from Africa, it can give you मिडिल ईस्टर्न हिस्ट्री, इट कैन गिव यू यूरोपियन हिस्ट्री, कुछ भी आ सकता है. बहुत ही बढ़िया सोर्स है. स्वामीनॉमिक्स इज अ वेरी गुड सोर्स. इट्स अ ब्लॉग ऑन टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया वेबसाइट बाय अंकलेश्वर स्वामीनाथन अंकलेश्वर अय्यर. ही राइट्स ऑन करंट अफेयर्स और इनका आर्टिकल बहुत अच्छा आता है. संडे को आता है, एक ही आर्टिकल आता है संडे को. सो यू कैन रीड दिस फॉर करंट अफेयर्स, इज वेरी गुड. एंड नेशनल ज्योग्राफिक से बहुत बार आर्टिकल्स आए हुए हैं आरसीज में. सो नेशनल ज्योग्राफिक ऑल्सो कैन बी एक्सेस्ड ऑनलाइन, बट अगेन सब्सक्रिप्शन का चक्कर हो सकता है. सो यू गाइस हैव टू फाइंड अ वे आउट, है ना. बट 3 वेरी गुड ऑनलाइन सोर्स. कीप इट ऑन होम स्क्रीन ऑन योर फोन और लैपटॉप एंड रीड, READ, एवरी सिंगल डे. पुश योर सेल्फ, वरना काम नहीं होगा. दिस एग्जाम इज नॉट फॉर यू इफ यू डोंट पुश योर सेल्फ. करेक्ट? दैट्स द पॉइंट. सो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, which I get a lot, of course, again from students. Books पढ़ूं? Yes, in fact, I have taken a session on why not read only newspaper articles, etc. Why you should read books also, 3 days back. It's available on YouTube. Gradeup, why not to read only newspapers. टाइप करोगे मिल जाएगा. Watch that video. It's a short video. मैंने समझाया उसमें कि क्यों सिर्फ आर्टिकल पढ़ना इज नॉट अ गुड आइडिया. एंड स्टूडेंट्स हैव गिवन गुड फीडबैक. दे आर सेइंग यस, नाउ वी अंडरस्टैंड एंड दैट मोटिवेट्स अस. तो बुक रीडिंग भी बहुत जरूरी है. 2 तरह के बुक्स होते हैं, फिक्शन एंड नॉन फिक्शन. 99% चांसेस यू वुड फेस आरसीज फ्रॉम नॉन फिक्शन सोर्सेज. देयरफॉर यूज दिस ओनली फॉर एंटरटेनमेंट, फॉर कैट पर्पस. आपको लगता है यू आर ट्रैवलिंग इन मेट्रो, यू वांट टू रीड समथिंग फॉर एंटरटेनमेंट, फ्लाइट पे हो, घर पे हो, यू वांट टू रीड समथिंग फॉर एंटरटेनमेंट, रीड फिक्शन. बट रीड नॉन फिक्शन फॉर लैंग्वेज इंप्रूवमेंट एंड ऑफ कोर्स एडिशन टू योर नॉलेज, बिकॉज आरसी के सोर्सेज यही होते हैं. यू हैव टू गेट यूज्ड टू द लैंग्वेज, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. करेक्ट? तो फिक्शन आप अवॉइड कर सकते हैं, नॉन फिक्शन थोड़ा बढ़ाइए जहां तक हो सके. नाउ Students have asked me this also, that sir, I have been told to read Pride and Prejudice, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Great Gatsby, or 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, or Brave New World by Huxley. Now they ask me, sir, ye boli padhu ki nahi padhu? Now you have to understand one very simple thing. These are classics, timeless books. They are very respected. I have nothing against them, though I have read most of these. And for example, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, I read 100 Years of Solitude, and after reading, and this guy has got a Nobel Prize. And मैं पढ़ के सोच रहा था कि मतलब क्यों दिया Nobel Prize? But people told me, my friends told me कि तू इस book के लायक नहीं है. You are not worth the book. The book is such a beautiful writing, mystical writing and whatnot. And I didn't find it like that. Maybe I'm not born for this stuff. Maybe I'm not for literature, right? Though I have loved Pride and Prejudice because of the language. So maybe that's how it is. हो सकता है मैं इस लायक नहीं हूँ क्योंकि बुक मेरे लायक नहीं, मैं बोल नहीं सकता. This guy is a Nobel Prize winner, so I'm pretty sure I'm not like worth the book. But the point is, all these books, remember guys, use language which were prevalent long back. We get RCs from non-fiction sources. तो क्या ये बुक पढ़ना चाहिए? You decide. But I don't see a lot of value coming from it unless you are very interested in language as such. आप avoid कर सकते हो, classics avoid कर सकते हो. That's my opinion. Correct? Though personally I have read because I just love reading books, but I don't find value in that. Okay? Fiction, वो भी classic, you may avoid. So what should you read? You should read non-fiction as much as you can. Especially, what should you read? Read polity. Now there is another video. You have to type 10 books for RCs on Gradeup. I have taken that video a month back. आप उसको जरूर देखना, उसमें books के नाम mentioned है. Read those books. Download भी कर सकते हो and read कर सकते हो. You can go to websites like z-lib.org and you can download from such well-known websites, है ना? तो क्या पढ़ना है? Read non-fiction, polity, history, philosophy, management, neuroscience, and National Geographic articles, and articles on anthropology, and read on Western philosophical thought and whatnot. Basic funda yaad rakhna guys. Basic funda is anything that you are not very familiar with, read, and it should be non-fiction. If you get stuck, push yourself. Tell yourself that I am going for the finest colleges in the world. I'm going for the toughest exam in the world. They expect something from me. I have to be very good. I have to be tough. You cannot be a wimpy kid. You cannot whine. You cannot complain. You cannot grudge. You cannot keep on grumbling, saying that ye nahi ho raha, mujhse wo nahi ho raha. Come on, you can do that. You have to tell yourself, I'm a champ. What can stop me? As simple as that. That's what is going to make you really different. I have given you a simple roadmap, guys. You just have to work on these things on a daily basis. Last question of the day. I get this very often. How many days? How many hours per day? I generally get this question. This is a mistake. How many hours per day? That's up to you. But I think anything less than 60 minutes would be useless. Whenever you can, but especially night time is good for reading. So use that time. Whenever you are tired, you can read. Whenever you are going to hit the bed, read. I don't like reading. How do I get hooked? Do it for 3 weeks. Do it for 45 minutes. Or if you can't manage 45 minutes, do it for 30 minutes per day. But do it for 3 weeks and you would see the difference, guys. Just do it. Because who is responsible for success in this exam? You. And who would be responsible for the failure? You only. You have got to take the responsibility. Nobody else is doing it for you. There is no knight coming in shining armor. There is no cavalry coming. There is no backup. You are alone fighting this war. You have got to do it. And you can do it. Just understand that once you start doing it, you really get habituated. And then nothing really stops you. The problem is inertia. You haven't started yet. I hope you found the points useful. And more importantly, I hope you would start working on them. Correct? Do let us know in the comment anything else we can work with. and anything else we can deliver a session on. We would love to do that. बता देना कोई और session चाहिए तो. These were the very basic questions I was getting very repeatedly for last few days. तो मैंने सोचा एक session ले लेते हैं. I hope the content helped you. If it did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and remember, Gradeup app आपके पास होना चाहिए because we are coming with discounts also. You can join our CAT 2021. We have got multiple batches running now, and we are launching new ones repeatedly. Okay, we would love to be in touch and teach you, of course, right? Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you again very soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you again. Thank you, guys.
दो ऑप्शंस है, सिर्फ प्रेप करो या ग्रेडअप के साथ सही प्रेप करो। ये है मिस आरती जासूस, कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम के इंडिया की सारी फैकल्टी के बारे में सब कुछ पता है।
वेंकट सर की क्लास के कॉन्सेप्ट्स और नीलम मैम के क्लास के एग्जाम्पल और दीपक सर के वीडियोस में प्रीवियस ईयर्स के क्वेश्चंस।
इतनी फैकल्टी ढूंढ ली, अब तो एग्जाम क्लियर होगा ना?
आई डोंट नो।
आप सिर्फ सही प्रेप कीजिए और एक्सपर्ट फैकल्टी को आप तक लाने के लिए ग्रेडअप है ना।
ग्रेडअप के साथ सही प्रेप है
तो लाइफ सेट है।
Download now.